Are you ready to find a new apartment? In this week's episode, we are hunting for a brand new apartment here in New York City. Good morning, Theo. He just fell asleep after just waking up. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's not ready to move. He's like, Dad, we're staying here. I'm comfortable. It is bittersweet leaving this place because, I mean, as you can see in the frame, this is hands down one of the most unique apartments in all of New York City, pretty safe to say, just as far as the design, the aesthetic. After that video a few weeks ago where I announced that we were moving, so many of you watching were like, we just want to see vlogs. So that's exactly what you're getting in this episode. It's just a handheld, raw, point and shoot vlog. One of those YouTube intros, just woke up. We've been up for, what time is it, Theo? What time is it? It's 7 a.m. We've been up since 5, so we have the ring light going on just to have the production for that intro look a little better. You're a good boy. You can go back to bed. Like I was saying, it is pretty bittersweet to leave this apartment. I mean, I'm just gonna give you a first-person look of what it's like waking up in this place. It's something special and I'll definitely miss it. Onwards and upwards, I'm looking for a new space with fresh energy, just a place to really make a home for the next, I'd say, year, maybe 2 years. You wanna go out on the windowsill? This is his favorite thing to do in this apartment. Open up the fire escape window and he will sit out there like a cat. Before I head out there, let me grab my coffee. This is like our morning routine. Wake up, make a fresh pot of coffee with the French press, and then Theo will just sit on the windowsill and watch the sights and the sounds of Soho for, he's out there for a good amount of time. I'm out there for maybe 20 minutes. One of the last mornings here on the stoop looking out over the streets of Soho. We're not moving far though, we're staying pretty close in the same neighborhood. We'll get into that in a second. I'm gonna head back inside. So there we go. It is going to be a very, very long day today. We're seeing 4 apartments, and in this video, I'm going to give you everything, price breakdown, neighborhoods, best practices. It's all in this video. It's gonna be a very long, productive day. That's why we're starting early, coffee in hand, while we check out our Morning Brew newsletter, the sponsor of today's video. A lot of you watching know I swear by my morning routine, and something I've added over the past 3 months has been checking out the daily Morning Brew newsletter. A lot of the time, I'm even guilty for this. First thing in the morning, you wake up and you go on your phone, you go through Instagram, just mindlessly scrolling. But starting your day with Morning Brew, it really gives you a breakdown in under 5 minutes of all current events. Morning Brew is a free daily newsletter Monday through Saturday with the occasional Sunday edition. It's super condensed right here in my inbox every morning. The thing is, since it's free, there's really no reason to not subscribe to Morning Brew, especially if you're interested in business, tech, or finance, which right now, I don't know if you're into cryptocurrency or that world, the whole tech world. It's a very, very unique time to be alive. So I actually have a joke with a buddy of mine. I don't know if you can see this, let's get it focused. We've actually purchased replica Bitcoin just to have as a little joke and some inspiration while we're working throughout the day. So that's right on my desk while I'm working. Go to morningbrew.com/ErikC or click the link in the description to sign up for Morning Brew today. So finding an apartment in New York City. The #1 website I use is Street Easy. I just find the layout very convenient. And I want to mention, it's never been easier than now to find an apartment. All you have to do is put in the parameters. I'm looking in Soho and Tribeca. The neighborhood plays a huge factor. I mean, it is the pretty much only factor that determines rent price in the city. Because in the city, you're not just renting an apartment, you're renting out the neighborhood. That's where you're spending all of your time, the restaurants, the shops, things to do. So the neighborhood is the #1 consideration. After that, we enter in our budget, hit enter, and then browse. And another big consideration for me is a pet-friendly apartment because of the big guy over here. The first major tip I have is to take measurements. This right here is a laser measuring device. This is by Bosch, and this thing is incredible, especially if you have furniture, you need specific dimensions. I've found 4 places that I'm gonna walk through and break down my thoughts, and I'm just going to use my iPhone. I'm not gonna head in there with the big DSLR camera, just because that's a bit aggressive when you're seeing a place that you actually might be renting. So it's all gonna be shot on the iPhone, and with that, let's go look at these apartments. You stay here and I'll make sure to find some nice pet-friendly apartments. Good boy, be right back. I will miss this apartment. Now today is not the most ideal day to be looking at apartments just because it is rainy, it's cloudy, and for me, one of the biggest things when looking for a new apartment is sunlight. And today, that's not really an option. Another big tip when looking for an apartment in the city is to not be afraid to go back more than once to see the same space. I personally, if I can, like to see a space 2 or 3 times during different times of the day. So morning, afternoon, and then evening. I was thinking about this, it's pretty crazy how many people will sign on for a new apartment and only see it for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And this is a place where you're gonna be living for the next 12 to 14 months. So definitely take the time, look at it more than once. We are on our way to the first apartment right now.
Hand out the window, head for the sun, all of the stars turning blue.
The rent for this place is $7,300 per month. They are offering 2 free months, which is pretty common, especially given the pandemic, but that's actually changing. Rents are definitely going back up. This apartment is 747 square feet. It is 3 rooms, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom in a luxury high-rise. So here we go. Right off the bat, they have a latch door system, which is very convenient. Heading into the apartment, I like it. Nice white walls. We enter into the kitchen, open concept living area. This kitchen is actually very nicely designed. I love the dark oak cabinets. Got the Bosch appliances. So very high-end finishes here. We have the deep set sink. The kitchen is very nice, very modern. So this is the view from the entry to the main living area. This would be the living room. I love how they have these oversized windows, floor to ceiling glass, and like I mentioned, today is probably the worst day to see apartments, but there is a really nice view from this apartment. The apartment's facing south, so you have tons of natural sunlight. That is huge for me, and you can see the view would be pretty nice on a clear day. Then we're gonna go back towards the living area. This is the bathroom, dual vanity. I mean, the finishes in here are pretty awesome. Chevron floors. Yeah, this is a very, very nice apartment. Then across from the bathroom, we have the bedroom, which is a decent size, nothing special here. And then back out to the main section of the apartment. This apartment also has in-unit washer and dryer, which is a major, major luxury. And this apartment also has a rooftop. Again, you can't really tell today just because it's so cloudy, but the views are pretty special. And there's also an outdoor grilling and cooking area, which is pretty sweet. This is most definitely an amenities building. It also has a pretty awesome, fully built out gym down below on the 2nd floor, which is a huge plus to have a gym like this in building. My thoughts on this first apartment, it's a bit too cookie cutter for what I'm looking for, especially after living in a place like this that is so unique. It mixes the old with the exposed brick and the new with the modern design. This apartment, it's nice, but it's a bit too white box for me. Next up is apartment number 2. This apartment is going for $9,000 per month. So it's definitely on the higher end of my budget for rent, but it's 2,000 square feet. It is 1 massive room, 1 bedroom, and 2 bathrooms. Right off the bat, you can see this building has the original freight elevator to enter the apartment, which is pretty unique. From this elevator, we're right into the living room. This apartment faces south. Again, you can't see it because of the weather. It is just 1 open giant loft, which I love. I'm a huge fan of the lofts. Then off to the left here, we have, no, not that. This door is the bathroom. Heading in, it's been all redone. The shower, bath, and then even we have the dual vanity, all new finishes. Heading back out, there is the washer and dryer in unit, which is a nice luxury to have that. And now we're gonna go into the kitchen / living area. And the kitchen is brand new. You can tell just by the appliances, the finishes. I love the white lacquer cabinets. We have the induction stovetop, deep sink, dishwasher, and even the oven. Then from the kitchen, we're gonna head into this other living area. I'm not a big fan of those kind of funky lights, but here's the selling point. This is a western exposure, so it's a south and west facing apartment, so you have sunlight the entire day. It's a very, very big apartment. I love all that extra space. Then off to the corner, this is actually another bathroom. Let's see, this opens up, and I thought this was a powder room, but it actually has a little shower right there, which is pretty interesting. Shut that bathroom door, and right across, these are actually shelves. So this is essentially a closet, which is acting as a wall that separates the bedroom, which is in the back of the apartment. It is a good use of space to have that as a wall because you still get the sunlight from the top, and then back out into the main loft area. Thoughts on this apartment? I love this apartment. It is definitely, like I said, at the upper end of my budget, but all that open space, the southern exposures, I love how it mixes that old New York feeling, and yet it has that modern kitchen. This one, I mean, this is definitely up there. This might be a contender. Now on to apartment number 3. This one is at the upper end of my rental budget. This is $10,500 per month. It is 1,534 square feet. 5 rooms, it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Okay, private keyed elevator that opens directly into the apartment. I love that. We are now entering the great room. Whoa, high ceilings. These are at least 14-foot ceilings. We have an eastern exposure, so we'll get sunlight for half of the day. We're right in the heart of Soho. It's a very, very large space. There's the open kitchen off into the corner there. A nice gas fireplace. Yeah, the ceilings are awesome. The kitchen is definitely small, but it has everything you need. 2 ovens, there's even a cappuccino maker. Then from the kitchen, heading back in the apartment, there's a powder room here off to the left. Oh no, this is actually a full bathroom, wow. So you have the shower, full bathroom. Heading back into the hallway, there we have Chester. I wanna pause. I definitely recommend seeing your apartments with someone else. Chester is an agent at Nest Seekers with me. He's been selling apartments for almost the past decade, so I definitely trust his eye, and he'll give me an unbiased opinion when looking at these places. I think that's just a closet here, yeah, just a closet. At the very end, we have this would be the primary suite with 3 windows, so lots of natural light. We have the walk-in closet, nice storage space, and then the master bathroom at the end. Lots of marble, deep set soaking tub, that's pretty awesome. Dual vanity, nice mirror. It's a pretty nice bathroom and a steam shower. Then heading back out of the bathroom into the first bedroom, into this hallway, we have the second bedroom at the end. Same size, actually a little smaller as the other one. 2 windows facing a courtyard. So definitely some sunlight in there. Back out into the hallway. Nice long hallway. I'm not a fan, I don't know, this one's giving me kind of a weird feeling. It's beautiful, but is it worth 10.5? I'd probably say 9, just because it is new, but there's things that could be fixed up on the finishes. When I saw this apartment, it was just like, nah. On to apartment number 4. This place is renting for $5,850 per month. It is 700 square feet, 3 rooms, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. This apartment is on the 5th floor, but there's a stair that leads up to the actual unit. Entering the space, very high ceilings. It's an A-frame, which is very, very rare for New York City. As you can see here, it's 1 open space, and there's actually a loft with a ladder leading up to it. I love the light wood floors. Heading into the kitchen. The kitchen is brand new. It's all modern appliances. You can tell this kitchen was probably redone pretty recently. I love those windows, those A-frame windows. And this place is very unique because it has outdoor space. There's just about 400 square feet of outdoor space facing south. There is that big building though blocking the view, which it's a little bit of an eyesore, but not the end of the world. Heading back inside, you can see that lofted area with the ladder to lead up to the loft. My buddy Pat from high school is actually looking at these places with me. I gave him the camera. The ladder is kind of a deal breaker. The fact that 1, Theo can't go up there, 2, getting furniture up there would be pretty tricky. And also heading up a ladder every time I wanted to go into the loft, not ideal. But up in the loft, there is a ton of space. You can see the ceilings are very high. I don't have to duck, which is a huge plus. I'm not really sure what I would do with this area. The space and the layout of this apartment isn't that ideal. It's kind of a strange shape, and it's definitely a downsize for my current place, so my couches might not fit. Past that, we have the bathroom, which looks like it was just recently remodeled, which is a nice touch. You can tell it's all new finishes. Everything looks very, very modern. Heading into the shower, you can see the shower height is very low. With boots on, I'm just about 6'6", so I'd have to duck to shower, which is not ideal. There's the vanity. Also here in the bathroom, we have built-in washer and dryer, which is huge. That's a big plus. That's something I'm definitely looking for in an apartment. Nice closet space off of the bathroom. Right off into the bedroom. with a nice window facing south, lots of sunlight. Even on a cloudy day, you can see it's pretty bright in here. And then those ceilings are nice and high with that storage space above the closet. I love the high ceilings. I'm all about the high ceilings. I shot that video in vertical by accident, but even looking at the listing photos, I do love how bright this space is. It is so refreshing, has a really positive feeling. The only drawback is that loft space. It's kind of a very odd layout. I'd really have to think for a moment what I would do as far as furnishing the apartment and having it being functional. Comment down below which one out of the 4 was your favorite. I'm actually very curious to know what you think of these places. There's one apartment that I'm leaning to in particular that I haven't shown in this video, but if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen it in my stories. So if you haven't, go check out my Instagram for up-to-date live content, almost like a daily vlog, just on Instagram stories. And with that, I hope you're well watching this, and I will see you in the next video when I will be moving into my brand new Soho apartment.